Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with simplertrading.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to offer you 3 different names that I'm looking at on a 3-day chart. And a 3-day chart is something that, is not really that far-fetched, I think, to look at. It's something that maybe not everyone always references, but Thinkorswim makes it one of the default time frames that you can choose from. And I think it's a great way to split up, looking at the smaller view of a daily versus the bigger picture in the weekly, finding right there in the middle of that, these 3-day bars can be helpful in finding signals that you may not otherwise see. So for a couple of these that I'm going to be working with as we get into the next 4 to 6 weeks, give or take, the first one I'm looking at is Ulta. So looking at Ulta, I think we could all probably agree that the overall prevailing trend here is moving higher, and that's the way that I'd like to participate with this signal. If we look at the way that the last 3-day squeeze ultimately resolved, a little sketchy back in here prior to earnings, but ultimately the move kind of through that report really worked out well. I'm looking for the same thing in here. So I'd like to start accumulating some of these positions that will benefit from Ulta going higher in price, but also the idea that the earning series options will probably become more expensive as you get closer to that date. So that's one name to keep on your watch list as we move forward with this. And then 2 others, one of which is Twilio. This name has seen this signal for some time, and with any technical signal, they're not all like an Ulta. It wasn't picture perfect, but here you can see the potential for the results. So, here again, it's stock that is trending well, so they've obviously got something going on. These couple of other signals also have carried us into higher prices, and this one, as it continues to consolidate, when it does finally release, I feel like another thing that I'll usually tell people about these is I'm either going to be really right or really wrong. And recognizing those and kind of managing as appropriate is a big part of this. But you can see that back here, where I think it's safe to say you were really right. Expect big movement from this signal one way or the other, and I'm going to be trying to participate on that to the long side. The last of this list, just feel like things are easy to remember in 3's, or also since I was talking about 3-day charts, but the last of which is Spotify. And Spotify is interesting because if you look at it for the terms of the 3-day squeeze, well, really that signal has already come and gone, where, sold off a little bit in here, but ultimately it fired long. Now, I say it's come and gone, that particular signal has fired, but I like using the idea that the momentum of the 3-day squeeze can carry us into a very important retracement area right there around 162. If you think that momentum might be good for another little push higher, then you can use your daily signals to help confirm that. This one did fire short, but I feel like this kind of completed the shakeout and it's had time to digest that move. As it continues to stabilize against 145 and down into 140, I think you take a shot at 160. So I hope that's helpful for names to look at and using some slightly larger time frames to help complement your daily entries. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the next free video.